Nice and peaceful camera shot. This is Neil of Neil's Han Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Buy some silver and some platinum. You'll appreciate the value you get out of that over the years. And be kind, helpful, and grateful, because you'll appreciate that a lot more than being a jerk. This is about, I keep doing reports every now and then about Ethiopia. And this also is about Ethiopia, Somaliland, and Eritrea. I'll give some commentary during this, throwing in some other facts that they leave out. But here's the story.
Everyone, Ethiopia entered into a memorandum of understanding with Somaliland, facilitating the construction of a coastal port. This action has infuriated the government of Somalia, which asserts territorial claims over Somaliland and deems the agreement null and void. We are pursuing all diplomatic options. I think Ethiopia will come to its senses, but we are ready for a war. If Abiy, Ethiopia's prime minister, wants a war, stated the senior advisor. Somali's Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre, speaking in the capital, Mogadishu, emphasized the invalidity of the Sea Access Pact signed earlier in the month between Ethiopia and Somaliland. He said that any Ethiopian intervention in Somali territories could carry consequences. The memorandum grants Ethiopia permission to utilize Somaliland's coast for both commercial and military purposes, including access to strategic Red Sea port of Berbera. Additionally, hundreds of Somalis, including well-known figures, have expressed their dissatisfaction against Ethiopia through protests. Ethiopia lost control of its Red Sea port in the early 1990s, following the Eritrean War of Independence.
Okay, that right there, Eritrea. It is a country on the Red Sea. It started in 1991, and it's had the same leader since 1991. To give you some reference and context, Eritrea is comparable, as much so as any country on the planet. It is most comparable to North Korea. All of the citizens, after they get out of high school, are conscripted into the military. They get released from that conscription in 20, 30, 40 years, depending on their value to the almighty president there that's been president since 1991. They get told, what their job's going to be. If they get paid or not, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they don't. They get fed and housed, but they get forced. It's like the whole Eritrea country is a 30 plus year long dictatorship, kind of like the Rocket Boy in North Korea. Total fills them with propaganda. It's people with propaganda, uses them, lets them die off, does all kinds of sick stuff to them. So I personally am not a big fan of Eritrea, but whatever. But here's back to the story. Maybe not.
Which spanned from 1961 to 1991. In 1991, Eritrea achieved independence from Ethiopia, resulting in the emergence of two distinct nations. This separation led to Ethiopia's loss of direct access to the Red Sea and crucial ports, rendering it landlocked and impacting its capacity for efficient maritime trade. However, the recent deal signifies a potential resurgence for Ethiopia in maritime commerce. Since proclaiming independence from Somalia in 1991, Somaliland has functioned as a fully operational de facto state, possessing its own territory, population, and government. Despite its autonomy, Somaliland lacks international recognition, hindering its complete integration into the global community, including United Nations membership. Formal acknowledgement would not only provide access to protection under international law, but also unlock economic opportunities. The agreement with Ethiopia represents a pivotal step towards addressing this crucial missing element for Somaliland. Interestingly, Ethiopia has stated that it has merely committed to conducting a comprehensive evaluation before deciding on a stance regarding Somaliland's recognition efforts. Although Somaliland experiences relative stability and prosperity in contrast to Somalia, It encounters challenges in attracting foreign investment and faces limitations in accessing their international financial systems directly. The agreement with Ethiopia is perceived as a potential catalyst for acknowledging Somaliland's statehood, even though the latter maintains that the accord is purely commercial. Recognition is what we've been fighting for all this time, and it is the most important thing we can offer to the people of Somaliland. Somaliland's foreign minister, Essa Kade, said. Ethiopia needs sea access, and we need recognition. So you can see how these needs can be dealt with, he added. In the face of this looming war threat, neighbors, the broader African community are left pondering whether Ethiopia will yield and abandon its pact with Somaliland or boldly press on despite the escalating tensions. Let us know in the comments if you enjoy this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the new Africa channel for more
See, the
exciting.
thing is, Somali doesn't want this to happen, even though Somaliland broke away from them a long time ago. And the UN is actually escalating this because Somaliland met all their prerequisites to be recognized as its own nation. But some individuals who were not elected in the UN decided that wasn't in their best financial interest. So the rest of the world has to, deal with whatever comes of it because the elites in the UN really don't care. It doesn't meet their financial means, so they're not going to recognize it and they're going to put some spin on it. Somaliland has been around for a long time, should easily be recognized. Uh, there's more to this story. I personally see. I think that Ethiopia should attack Eritrea and take their property back because that guy's a evil dictator that needs to go. And heck, if America threw some missiles down there and let Ethiopia use it, they could get their coastline back from a tyrant and a dictator and a fascist. So it would benefit the whole world if he was gone. But the whole world doesn't talk about Eritrea and the 30-plus-year dictatorship, just like in North Korea, where he fills his people full of his vision of history and truth and math and science because he controls it all and has for 30 years. Uh, there's a lot going on down there. That's why I've been doing reports for the past year and a half about Ethiopia, Egypt, Sudan, Eritrea, Somaliland, and Somalia. And by the way, right across from Somaliland is, the Houthis in Yemen. Yeah, so it could really benefit America if Ethiopia retook Eritrea and got rid of that country because that country is an illegitimate country that broke apart from Ethiopia when they had their bad famine. And they took advantage of the Ethiopian people by cutting them off from the coastline and fishing while they were deep in a famine. So, kind of like what Egypt did to Ethiopia while they were deep in a famine and drought. All these countries took advantage of Ethiopia. Now Ethiopia is trying to rebuild and get back together, and everyone's telling them, "Screw off, screw off, screw off. We screwed you. You can't screw us back. You can't have what's yours." But that's just my opinion. I'd appreciate it if every one of you guys who watch this uh, do some research and develop your own opinion. See, if Ethiopia deserves to have its land back that was taken from it when it had their bad drought and famine for like 20 years, and everyone ran from them and cut their throats, and took their land. Now they just want it back. That's all. They want access to the water that they historically have had for a long time until some dictator came along and stole it from them. But anyhow, you guys come up with your own decision. I appreciate it. Leave a description, comment description below as to what you think about this. You guys take care. Bye bye.